Hi guys, I thought I'd film my week this week because I'm a little bit busy. I have a lot of things to do. I think I have 2 papers to write. Well, I have 1 essay to write and I have to write 1 prospectus on I'll explain it later, but I also have a crap ton of stuff to read for school, so I thought I'd record how my school is going for this week. I'm just gonna do my skincare routine really quick. Today though, my first class is at 12:45, but it got canceled. So my next class instead is at 2:20, and my last class ends at 6:45. Don't ask me why I did that to myself. But I have a very long day today. The class that got canceled today, the 12:45 class, it got canceled because we have an essay to write, and so our professor gave us the day off so that we could have it to write. I guess for that hour, I will just focus on writing my essay because I was supposed to start it last week, but I didn't touch it at all, so I have to start now. It's due this Sunday. But today, I have 3 classes. My neuroscience class, I have a literary criticism class, and I have my research methods in psychology class. Okay, I'm gonna finish my skincare routine, and then I'll be right back. Bye. So I finished getting ready and I had a little bit of lunch, and so now I'm gonna write my essay. This is for my world literature class, and I'm writing my essay on M. Butterfly by David Henry Hwang. This is a play. It's pretty short, and I don't know why, but I really love this cover. I like the glossiness, and I don't know, it feels so vintage. I kind of dig it. This book is one of the craziest plays I've ever read in my entire life. M. Butterfly is about a French man named René Gallimard, who is a diplomat living in China. And in China, he falls in love with a girl named Song. But it turns out Song is not a girl. Instead, Song is a male communist spy for the Chinese government. And I mean, it's just crazy. And it talks a lot about gender roles and cultural identity, but also how the West pictures the East as this feminine nation that needs to be conquered, and so it's more like gender constructs and all that stuff. It's really, really interesting. This is honestly a great play. It's really, really short. I highly recommend it. It's wild. It's actually based off of a true story too. I'm writing my essay on this. I don't necessarily know what topic yet. It's a critical essay, which means I have to pull from other peer review sources and add them to my essay. So I kind of want to talk about power imbalance between gender and cultural identity. I have a working thesis right now. I might change it because it feels a little basic. So yeah, I'm just gonna do some research and then yeah. I have a ton of lip products, but these are the ones that I've been using recently. This is the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask, and I put this on top of it. This is the Laneige Peach Glaze Tinted Lip Serum. And then for perfume, I've been wearing this one a lot. This is the Versace Bright Crystal Eau de Toilette. It's really fresh. It's really nice. It's not super fragrant, but I honestly don't really care about that. This is my backpack. I'm gonna bring a few things. I have a ton of stuff in here. That's my wallet. But I'm also gonna bring my tablet. I also have a folder in here with some papers. My pencil case. I'm gonna bring M. Butterfly just in case I want to work on it. And I'm also going to bring Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. And I have to read this by tomorrow. I have to read 50 pages of this for tomorrow's class. So I'm gonna bring this too. And my headphones. Actually, I'm gonna wear my headphones. I'm just gonna put the case in my bag. So I got back to my apartment at around 7 p.m., like right after my class ended, and I had dinner, and now I'm in my apartment's study room where I'm just going to do a little bit more homework. My main priority for tonight is to read this. This is The God of Small Things by Arundhati Roy. I'm kind of disappointed by this book. I'm kind of slugging through it. It's not bad, but I just feel like I'm just so tired reading it. The writing style isn't really vibing with me. The story is basically about two twins named Esta and Rahel, and it follows their family, but it centers around the two twins the most. It's a novel that moves back and forth between the past and the present, and it also talks a lot about, it's a multi-generational tale, I will say that. But according to the back, it seems that the entire novel centers around the arrival of their beautiful young cousin, Sophie Mall. And I think Sophie Mall is their cousin, but she's white. I think so. And there's like a really tragic thing. And to be honest, I feel like I'm not enjoying it because I'm reading it for school. Like typically for class, I'm pretty good at reading things on time and keeping up with the readings. But this is the first book in the entire semester where I actually fell behind the reading. And I skipped class. I skipped class because I fell behind on the reading, and I just didn't really want to talk about the book. It's not a bad book. It's a good book, but the writing style isn't really resonating with me. This book has all of the elements for it to be a 5-star read for me. But I just feel like it's the circumstance that I'm reading it in. Like, because I'm reading it for school, it's just not hitting. Also, another thing, this really pissed me off, if I'm going to be completely honest. But half of the book is like alluding to this huge incident that happens, like, oh, but they didn't know this was going to happen, or oh, they weren't expecting this, or oh, they don't know that something big is going to happen in the future. Like, stop mentioning it. I don't care. Just tell me what happened. There's a lot of foreshadowing like that, and it kind of pisses me off. Like, stop mentioning it. A couple times is enough. You don't have to say it every gosh darn chapter. Jeez. That's probably just me overreacting. I feel like I become more critical of books when I'm reading them for class. So that might just be a me problem. I'm just going to finish reading 50 pages though. But as soon as I'm done with this, I also need to work on my M Butterfly essay. I didn't really get much done earlier today because I got tired. Those are the top 2 priorities. I don't really want to stay out here too late, so I guess we'll see. Bye. So I read the 50 pages I was supposed to, and you know what? I will say it did get a little better. I finally reached the climax of the novel, so like this huge reveal just happened, and it was really interesting, and I was engaged. I will say that, but I feel like that one part didn't really give me that much satisfaction because I don't know, they spent all of this book, like this entire book, just building up to this one moment, and then it finally reached the climax, and I was low-key like whatever. It was good. It was, I kept reading. I was into it for a little bit. Let me show you the book that I am reading for fun. This is what it looks like. You saw it earlier in the video, but this is such a cute hardcover. It's just like an egg splat, but I think it's so cute. This is what the dust jacket looks like. I'm reading this book. This is Counterattacks at 30 by Won Pyung-sun, and it's really, really great. So far, I'm barely in the book. I don't really have an opinion yet, but it's just about an ordinary woman named GK who works at an academy, and she's like dealing with office life and that jazz. That's how far I've gotten. Not much has happened yet. I might read this tonight, but I also really, really need to start on the essay, sadly. Anyways, I'm gonna shower now. Hey queens. I forgot to film this entire morning. It's currently 1:16. I'm about to go to my last class of the day. But earlier today, I had 2 classes. I went to my fiction writing class at 9:35, and then I also had my horror class at 11:10. Last night I said I would work on my essay. So it turns out I didn't, which is fine. I'm just gonna work on it today. So, okay, here's the plan for that essay. I'm gonna write a rough draft. I'm gonna finish the entire rough draft today, which is a very big task, but I'm gonna do it because tomorrow my professor has office hours. So I'm gonna go to her office hours and then I'm gonna talk to her about my essay, see what she's thinking. But last night I did get to read a little bit. I read Alice's Adventures. Actually, no, we finished Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and now we're on through The Looking Glass. And I read chapters 4 through 7. I'm reading this for my literary criticism class, and the theory that we're working on right now is Marxism. And so for tomorrow's class, I have to analyze those chapters using the Marxist lens. It's kind of interesting, you know, using a children's book to talk about Marxist ideologies. Really, really fascinating. I will say, I don't hate this. I don't hate the book. I actually really like it. But it's kind of exhausting because we're using one novel to talk about a bunch of different theories in that class. So we're using it to talk about feminist queer studies, deconstruction, what's it called? New criticism? New criticism? Damn, I forgot. Damn, I forgot. The other book I got to read was Counterattacks at 30. And honestly, I did not mean for this to happen, but reading this at the same time as learning about Marxism is quite interesting because it talks a little bit about capitalism and Marxism and how in a capitalist world, art is seen as a commodity, something to be used for money. Art doesn't have a value unless it's for money. Let me find the quote. Indeed, team leader Yu always complained about how there were too many people in society wanting to do things like create music, literature, art, and film, and would bemoan how the artistic unemployed were gnawing away at the foundations of society. Contrary to common knowledge, culture and academics were ultimately commodities to be bought and sold. The converse statement to this was that culture wasn't culture if it didn't make money. Obviously, there's a lot of people these days who, you know, want to be content creators, who want to pursue writing professionally and who want to pursue art professionally. And I think society looks down on people who do these things without expecting money to come out of it. What you're doing is essentially worthless if there's no income to it. Like, why are you pursuing art if you could get a PhD and become a doctor instead, because that would make much more money? And that's just the society that we live in. The things that we do don't matter unless it creates money for us. And that's kind of what's been giving me a lot of anxiety recently because, I don't know, I love writing, I love art, and in that sense, it kind of upsets me how it's not really valued as much because in this economy, it doesn't matter if you don't make money. I really, really like this. I barely got into it. Let me give you a better summary. This book, let me put the dust jacket cover on. This book follows an ordinary office worker named Ji-hye who works at an academy that teaches liberal arts. And in this academy, she's kind of tired of her job. She's very good at, you know, perfecting the perfect eye roll and making passive aggressive comments and getting away with not doing certain tasks. And, you know, just a very ordinary life until this new guy comes in, Lee Kyuk, who kind of ruins the equilibrium of the workspace. And that's how far I've gotten so far. It's really, really great. I actually really like the writing. This author also wrote Almond, if you didn't know, and I can tell that there's a difference. This is not like Almond at all. It's a lot more comedic, it's a lot more funny, and not serious. It's not a serious book at all. You can tell, which I like. I like this book, especially because we're talking about Marxism in my other class. So this was a treat. I'm about to go to my last class, which is post-colonial literature, where I'm talking about the God of Small Things. I think I'm supposed to finish this for Thursday. Yeah, I'm supposed to finish this book this week. So I will finish it and tell you my thoughts. This is the perfume for the day. Marc Jacobs, Daisy Love. Also, guys, I was about to make a really bad decision last night. It was 3 in the morning and I couldn't fall asleep because I was really stressed, and I was looking at my perfumes and I'm almost out of this one. I'm just almost out of perfumes in general. And I was about to make a really bad decision because I believe in retail therapy, right? Let me do this really quick. I'm gonna put this lip balm on, the Tinted lip balm, and then I'm gonna put this on top of it, my Laneige lip balm. I wanted to buy more perfumes, right? And I'm looking at a specific diptyque perfume, Le Papier. I'm actually debating between Le Papier and Fleur de Peau because both of those are ones that I actually quite liked. Le Papier, I remember, it smelled really good on me, but I asked my sisters what they thought, and they told me that I smelled like our grandparents' house. But I personally really like the scent. So I'm still debating on whether or not I should get Le Papier, or I'm also thinking about Fleur de Peau because that's also another second skin scent. I went on the Diptyque website and I was thinking about buying one because with each Diptyque purchase, they give you a free trial, like a mini size with a perfume so that you can try it before you open it up. And if you don't like it, you can return it. So I was like, you know what? I might as well buy it so I can at least try it. And if I don't like it, I'll return it. And if I like it, I'll keep it. But I ended up not buying it because the price tag made me do a double look. I had to think really carefully about my decision. I also do want to try Orpheon. So with every Diptyque purchase, online purchase, you get 2 like free minis. My plan was to buy the Le Papier, the small bottle, the 50 milliliters, and then get a Fleur de Peau and Orpheon in the trial size so I could try those as well. And also, because I've never bought anything from Diptyque before, I also get a free, like freebie. So I get card and I also get a free scented notebook. And I want that scented notebook. I want it. I don't know, I'm yapping for a while. But I want Le Papier. If you have a favorite Diptyque scent, let me know. Those are the 3 that I'm mainly looking at though. Orpheon, Le Papier, and Fleur de Peau. I guess we shall see. Maybe or maybe not, I will buy it. Also really quick, I have about a few minutes left, so I'm gonna talk for a little bit. Yesterday in my neuroscience class, we were talking about vision and how glasses work and like the different parts of our eyes and why our eyesight gets bad. It kind of made me want to pick up my glasses again. I wear contacts, and so I haven't worn these glasses since freshman year of high school. So it's been a really long time. Like, I like the look of no glasses because with my glasses, well, with these glasses at least, because my nose bridge is so low, they make my nose look bigger. And so I kind of just I kind of just don't wear glasses anymore, but I don't know. I might start wearing these at night because I do a lot of reading, and at night, before I shower, I take out my contacts because I don't like showering with my contacts in. And so for the rest of the night, I'm literally blind because I don't put on my glasses, but I don't know. Do we vibe with them? I mean, I'm not going out with these. I'm wearing these at home. I don't know why. These are for functional purposes only. So I guess they don't really matter if they're cute or not. Okay, bye. It's really hot today. Today has been one of the hottest days so far. I just came back from my post-colonial class where we talked about the God of Small Things, and I'm supposed to finish it for Thursday, which I will get to. But for like our final project in that class, we're supposed to write an essay on whatever we want. It just has to deal with colonialism or neo-colonialism. And to be honest, I don't really know what I'm going to write about. She said that we could write about anything. Like we could talk about our favorite book or our favorite TV show. And I feel like I might talk about one of these books. Intimacies, if you don't know, is one of my favorite books. And I might talk about this because it doesn't specifically talk about colonialism, but I feel like there might be some hints of it because it does take place in The Hague in the International Court. And so maybe I could talk about international law and how that has to do with colonialism. But I could also talk about Exhibit by R.O. Kwan. This book I finished not even a week ago. I finished this a few days ago, and I will give my full review on this later. It was just really, really hard for me to review this because I was so conflicted on whether or not I liked it. I gave it 3.5 stars for now, but I don't know, that might change. I might talk about this one because maybe I could tie femininity and womanhood to colonialism. I don't know. I just don't know what to talk about. I'll figure it out. It's due on Sunday. I have to write a prospectus. A prospectus is like a plan for your essay, essentially. And it has to be 1,000 to 1,500 words. I don't know. A little stressed about that. But right now, I do have to finish writing my other essay, the one about M. Butterfly. Gotta get to it, I guess. It is 9 o'clock and a quick update before I go shower, but I finally finished my M Butterfly essay, guys. It's super great. Actually, I wrote the body paragraphs, but I have yet to write the introduction and conclusion, but I'm going to hold off on that until tomorrow when I actually talk to my professor and see what she thinks about it. Because the introduction and conclusion, I could just knock that out. It's easy for me. On another note, I asked my professor, my post-colonial literature professor, if I could have an extension on the proposal, on the prospectus or whatever, because I just can't. I can't. I'm literally going to have a breakdown if it's due on Sunday, but it's just a 2-day extension, so I have until next Tuesday to turn it in, which I think will be fine. I think the hardest part is finding a topic on what to do. I just don't know what to do my thing on. Also, I took out my contacts and I'm wearing my glasses because my eyes got really, really dry and I could hear myself blink. For the rest of the night, after I shower, I honestly think I'm just gonna research topics for my colonialism essay. And honestly, guys, okay, this is a secret. I'm gonna skip my literary criticism class tomorrow because I want to work on my colonialism essay. Don't tell anyone. That's that. I'm gonna go shower now. Bye-bye, everyone. Hello. It's the next day, and I'm about to go head out to talk to my professor. And I'm gonna talk to my professor about my M Butterfly essay, but I'm also gonna see my other one to talk about my post-colonial literature essay, because I need some ideas, so I'm going to talk to her about it. I talked to my professor about my M Butterfly essay, and she said it was great. I just had to tweak a few things. And basically, my essay looks at how gender and cultural identities and stereotypes intertwine with one another. And so my argument is that M Butterfly uses gender as a performative tool in order to demonstrate how cultural identity is propelled by gender constructs that enforce a power imbalance between people. So basically, the Western culture has always had this idea that they are more dominant or more masculine than the Eastern culture, and so that allows them the ability to conquer or colonize the East. Because of these stereotypes, the gender roles sort of perpetuate the cultural roles, if that makes any sense, and that's kind of what this paper is arguing about. So I talk about that because M Butterfly does a really interesting thing where Song, who is the male communist spy, also plays the role of a woman in order to seduce a French diplomat, Gallimard. And in this role reversal where Song is playing a woman, even though he's really a man, it kind of asks the question, who's really in power? Does Song have power over Gallimard, or does Gallimard have power over Song? It's just an interesting look at power dynamics because obviously Gallimard wants to believe that he has power over Song, but in the end, it does seem that Song has power over him. But at the same time, they both need each other. In the very end, Song is pleading for his butterfly. Like, they kind of depend on each other in some way. And so it's not like there's a power imbalance, but it's that there's on equal footing and that they both depend on each other's submission and domination, if that makes any sense. I don't know. But it's just a really interesting dynamic between cultures and genders at the same time. And I was talking to her and she said all my topic sentences were excellent, which is very, very nice. I finished writing the introduction and conclusion today. So the essay's basically done. I just have to fix a few minor details. I talked to my other professor today about my post-colonial essay, the one where I was thinking about writing about Intimacies by Katie Kitamura, and I went up to her and I was talking to her about how I was so stressed about it and like I don't know what to do, and she's like, it's okay, don't be stressed. I love that girl. She's the sweetest. But I was like telling her my idea about interpretation, language, and how it relates to international law, specifically the International Criminal Court in The Hague. And she really liked the idea. And the proposal or the prospectus is not like a set in stone idea. Obviously, my thoughts can change and my argument will obviously probably change. But she made me feel better about it. And she also gave me the extension. So I have until next Tuesday to turn it in. So I'm a lot less worried. I still have to crank it out. I wanted to use intimacies because even though it's not necessarily a colonial text, it doesn't focus about the colonialism within the International Criminal Court. I still feel like there's interesting discussions of it, only because the narrator talks a lot about language and how language is used within the court. Specifically, when she meets the former president who is being charged of crimes against humanity, she starts speaking French because she assumes that he's able to speak French. In reality, French is not his first language. And she kind of feels defeated, and she also feels ashamed and embarrassed, and she feels sorry for this former president, even though he's done horrendous things. She feels sorry for him because she can't really interpret for him and she can't really translate for him in his original language. And so there's an obvious language barrier there, especially in the court, because obviously it's an international criminal court, so it deals with people all around the world, but its official languages are English and French. But along with just interpretation in general, it's just language is used as a way for people to colonize other countries. Language is highly detrimental. Language is highly influential. We use language for literally everything, for telling stories, for just talking to each other, for keeping traditions going. Human communication starts at language. And so along with colonization, what happens is that people start to adopt the English language, or the more dominant language. In this case, I'll talk about English because it is like the most dominant language right now. But English is wiping away all of these traditions, all of these languages, all of these cultures. And I kind of want to tie that in with the International Criminal Court. So I'm just going to keep researching and just try to write down my ideas and see what I come up with. But that's that plan. My sister is coming up this weekend to visit. So I'm going to try to get as much done as possible before she comes up so I can spend more time partying. It's past 10. I think it's like 10:30 right now or something. I'm gonna go shower. I don't know what to do tonight. I might keep researching. I don't know. Oh, I have a crap ton of other stuff to do. Let me see. I have to do an assignment for my research methods in psychology course. I have to do some readings for my neuroscience class. I need to watch a few short films for my horror class. And I also need to write a fiction piece for my fiction writing. And it's a flash fiction piece, so about 1,000 words, which isn't too bad. I actually quite like writing those. In the middle of writing about all these heavy academic topics, the flash fiction writing allows me to just be creative for once, and it's really, really nice. I also just keep looking at my diptyque shopping bag because that proceed to checkout button looks so tempting. I just want to press it. I'm still debating though. I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to stop yapping now. We'll see if I'm going to film tonight. I probably won't, so I guess we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. It's the next morning, and I'm supposed to have my fiction writing class now, but my professor had canceled the class because she's going away to a conference, and so I was not planning on waking up early because my next class is at 11:10. So I was planning on sleeping in, but I got an email yesterday from my apartment saying that they were doing an emergency repair in the apartment, and they had to shut off the water from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. So I woke up early and I got ready early. Earlier in this vlog, I was talking about like my glasses and how after I shower, before I shower, I take out my contacts and I don't wear my glasses at night. And yes, I don't wear glasses because I don't necessarily need to at night. So obviously when I'm out and about, I like to see clearly, so I wear my contacts. But at night, I can still read fine. Like I can still read, I can still function. I'm not literally like everything is blurry, everything's just blobs to me. My vision's not that bad. And also like I kind of like giving my eyes a rest, giving my eyes a night to just chill without using any lenses. It's really, really nice, to be honest. I'm starting 2 books this week. This one is The Whale Caller by Zakes Mda. That's what it looks like. Honestly, I know nothing about this book, and I haven't even been able to read the description because of this sticker that's on there. I just know my professor was talking about it the other day, and she said we're in for a wild ride. I think she said it's a threesome with a whale, which is completely wild. I'm kind of ready. And then I'm starting this one. This one's a classic. Everyone probably knows this book. I haven't read it yet, which is crazy. But this is Americana by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, who just came out with a new book recently. Her new book, Dream Count, came out a few weeks ago. I have yet to read it. I have been holding off of reading Dream Count because I wanted to read Americana first. If you don't know what Americana is about, it's about two people named Ifemelu and Obinze, who fall in love when they depart military-ruled Nigeria for the West. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but the last sentence says, at once powerful and tender, Americana is a remarkable novel of race, love, and identity by the award-winning writer Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. Huh, that kind of sounds like something I'd like. I'm really, really excited for this, actually. I'm going to stop yapping now. Okay, bye everyone. It is hot as a witch's coochie out here. After I got back from my classes, I spent the rest of the afternoon doing my homework. So I finished my neuroscience readings, and I also did my research methods assignment. And I also finished writing my flash fiction piece, which isn't good, but I'm probably just going to turn it in as is. But for now, I think I'm going to take a quick break because I've been working really hard this week. And so I'm going to go on a walk. It is nighttime right now, and I actually really like taking walks at night because I think it's like 50 degrees right now or something, which is really nice weather, and the sun's not going to be like beating down on your neck. And so it's like a nice time to walk and just listen to music and chill. That's the plan. I may or may not do my homework again. We shall see. Watch some horror short films for my horror class. So I'm gonna film my reaction. Hello guys, it is 2:53, it's almost 3, but I woke up early because I fell asleep at like 11 last night. I was really tired for some reason. I was exhausted. So I fell asleep earlier than normal, and so I woke up earlier than normal. I woke up at about like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and so I got ready. I made myself some matcha, and then I went to another study room on my campus, and I did some of my homework there. I finished doing my horror assignment, so I watched 3 horror short films. That was what you saw on camera. They weren't that scary. The first 2 that I watched were not scary at all. It was more like, I don't know, it's more focused on the art aspect of it, I guess. But the third one that I watched, it was called Getaway, and that one was actually quite terrifying. You saw me get jump scared a few times, but that's just because it was just so jump scare heavy. I'm just gonna wear this perfume again. I'm not really a horror fanatic, so I get jump scared quite easily. I'm planning on going to a secondhand bookstore near me, and I might look around for books, but mainly I'm gonna be doing, there's like a cafe there, so I'm gonna sit in the cafe and do my homework. My 2 main things I'm gonna do is 1, my post-colonial prospectus, my proposal. And I'm also gonna keep reading The Whale Collar a little bit more. I only read like 2 pages of it and I kind of got bored, if I'm gonna be completely honest. But like, again, it's just the first 2 pages, so I guess we shall see. Yeah, bye. I am like 20 pages in The Whale Collar, not that far, but it's really interesting. It's a bit more religious than I thought. This takes place in South Africa, and there's like a church there. There's a schism that happens in the church because one leader of the church claims that the kelp, what's it called? The kelp horn. The kelp horn is better at calling spirits and calling God over the harp, because originally, you think of harps as like very angelic, very holy, very spiritual. But this guy, he says, no, that's not true. It's the kelp harp. The kelp harp is what really brings us closer to nature and brings us closer to the spirits. And that causes like a break in the church. And so they separate and they make their own church called Church of the Sacred Kelp Horn. But the whale caller has been searching for this whale named Sharisha, and he's been calling her with his kelp horn for a really long time, but she's not coming. And so he's kind of like having a breakdown. He's like, where's my whale? I miss my whale. I love my whale. And he's having this huge like crying sesh over it. So that's as far as I got. And it's interesting, I guess. Like, it's not boring. It's just odd. It's an odd book, but I like weird books, so I'm here for it. I'm on my way to see my sister now.
There we are. Thank you. You should.
Hello. It is Sunday. I did not film that much yesterday because I was a little occupied and I was just living in the moment, so I didn't film. But yesterday, my sister came up here because she was gonna go skiing, but I personally hate skiing. I just despise it. I went skiing once before and I didn't like it. So she came up here to ski with our cousin. And so while she was skiing, I spent the entire day sort of like having a me day and doing things for myself. And so I went downtown and I did a bit of shopping. So I went to a local bookstore to look around. Unfortunately, I didn't buy anything. I also went to the library and I read a little bit of Counterattacks at 30. I'm currently on page 94, chapter 9. And so far, it's actually really good. I actually really like this book. Basically, it's just an observation on like, what are you supposed to do in your life if you know you're not going to change the world, if you're not going to do anything big? How are you supposed to live with that, knowing that you're never going to like change the world? But there's lines in here that say even small acts that you do will end up changing the world somehow. But it's funny, after I did that to Professor Park, the burning sensation in my chest disappeared. All I did was yell a few words in a cafe, but it occurred to me that at the very least, I'd made him meditate on the shame lying dormant in his mind. I started thinking a lot after that. Perhaps the world changes just a little bit, even when all you do is call out injustice for what it is. Even if you're not going to be making these huge changes, you're not going to change the world or anything. It's just these small moments in life, in your own personal life, that gives you meaning. And I think that was so cute. The little pranks that they pull are really, really funny. I just think this book is so unserious and it's so lighthearted, and I just think it's a very charming book. So I really do like this. I hope I'll finish it soon, but I don't think I'll finish it today because I have a lot of homework to get to. Oh, by the way, I got these pajamas yesterday. It's so cute. I slept in it this last night. It was so comfortable. I'll probably end the vlog soon because I'm not gonna do much today. Yesterday, I did not do any of my homework. So today I kind of have to catch up and I have to do quite a few things. First and foremost, I have to work on the proposal. I know I got an extension on the proposal, but I still want to get it done as fast as possible. Just because like, I don't want to wait till the last minute again. I also have to finish reading The Whale Caller. I only have like 20 pages left, so I don't think it'll take me that long. And then I also have to read Americana. I think I have to read like 100 pages of Americana by Tuesday. So, I don't know, girl. I also have to read about post-colonialism for my literary criticism class. We're doing post-colonial literary theory this week, so I have to read that. I think that's it. I was talking to my friend, and I was also talking to my cousin and sister. I was like, oh, I really want this little papier perfume. And they're just like, buy it, just buy it. And my sister was like, you've been eyeing this perfume for over like 2 months. Like you've been researching about it. You've been thinking about it for a really long time. And because you've been thinking about it for a really long time, it's not going to be an impulsive purchase because you've been pondering about this perfume for so long. And I was like, you're right. Maybe I will buy it. But I don't know. Maybe today I'll buy it. But I don't know. I don't know. I think I'll end it here. I think this is the end of the week for me. I know this probably is boring because I've literally been doing the same thing every single day. Sorry about that. I hope you got to see what it was like being an English major, writing 2 essays, reading a crap ton of books, and also being a psychology major. Although I'm taking 2 psychology classes, oh my God, I forgot. I have to study for my research methods exam. Oh my God, I completely forgot about the exam. Oopsies. Anyways, yeah, but that's just like a week in my life because honestly, really boring. But it's not necessarily boring to me. I like routines and I like having things in neat order and I like doing the same thing over and over again. I don't know why. I do like the routine aspect of my whole week. I'm gonna say bye just in case I don't film again. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you so much for watching.